Morning, guys. So, we are in the final week of the Kickstarter. It's crunch time. It's cool. Things are moving along. It's really good. The support's building and people are jumping in and checking it out, which is good. A lot of people are sharing my videos, which I'm really appreciating, and the word is spreading, which is great. So a lot of shout outs today. I was away for the weekend, so I didn't get to do any videos over the weekend. So the shout outs for the moment. First of all, I'd like to thank Melly. Melly is in Queensland, Australia. She's actually picking up 2 journals. She knew a friend that she thought needed a bit of a hand. So big shout out to Melly, and her friend is Craig. He's going to get a journal as well. I'd like to send a huge shout out to Srihari. Srihari's in the States. I've got a few journals going to the States now, which is really cool. It's nice to think that this could actually go sort of international and hit foreign shores. A big shout out to Lauren. Lauren's an old friend of mine. She was actually one of my testers, so she's already experienced the journal in its raw format. And Lauren's done something amazing. She's pledged for a couple of the journals, but she only needs one, so she's asked me to actually donate the rest of her journals to students. Her and I were chatting about it, and we both think that there's going to be a big benefit for students, especially around the tertiary age. I'd like to send a shout out to Chad. Chad is also an old friend. He's actually been a big sounding board for this project. We've bounced a lot of ideas off each other. He's a journaler from way back, and he's actually pledged to have a half-hour conversation. I know that there's some ideas he wants to bounce around for what he's going through, so we're going to catch up and have a chat. And if the chat's good, hopefully I'll get to share it with people, so that'll be nice. I'd like to thank Maddie. Maddie is in Australia, down in Armidale, and she's also getting 2 journals. And this is really cool because I was chatting to Maddie and I'm like, can you tell me your friend's name so I can give a shout out to them as well? And she's actually giving her second journal to her daughter Naiya. Now Naiya's 14, so she's a little bit younger than the testers that I used in the experiment. But it's going to be great to see how she goes with using the journal to help work through her teenage years. Kids have a lot going on. I think in a lot of ways we coddle kids these days, and I've met Naiya. She is a thinker and she doesn't look at the world like a lot of kids do these days, so I'm really excited to see how this journal will help her explore herself and get those juices flowing and start to look at the world a little bit differently. So guys, they're the shout outs for today. Thank you. Every pledge that comes through, you have my eternal gratitude. Like I've said many times, the project is only successful as those that believe in it. If you haven't jumped in and checked it out yet, we've got 5 days left. The Kickstarter finishes on the 16th, so I'd love if you come over and have a look through the rewards, pledge and help me make this a reality, because every day that goes by, every word that I write in the journal and see edited and working with the publishers, I think this is going to have a huge benefit in a lot of different areas. So the one thing I want to talk about today, I'm going to keep this pretty short, is one of the rewards in the Kickstarter, and something else that I've been working on, is Own Your Shit. Now, Own Your Shit is going to be an ebook that I will give to the backers as part of the project, and I'm also going to release it separately. Now, one thing I found during the experiment, I had 50 testers, and from day one, everybody used the journal in different ways, and this is a big part of what made me realize that this project will work. I had my notions on how it should work, I had my ideas, I had my process on how the journal had helped me. When I first gave the journal out to people, there was one simple rule: break it. I needed to make sure that people used it in a way that I didn't, but the idea held strong, the layout held strong, and people would find a benefit in it. The beauty of it is my testers did. They broke it from day one. And this was a bit of an ego thing. I mentioned this in the interview with Burnwood yesterday. Because I had my own notions, when people started to use it differently or question me on things, I had that moment of, hey, hold on, that's not what it's about. That's not how you use it. But I started to see the benefits for people. I had to realize that my style is not everybody else's style. Not everybody writes the same way I do. Not everybody is going through the same stuff that I'm going through. And this is what the experiment was about. It's about testing the foundations. It's about testing the elements. Feel, think, and do. The layout in the book is a guide. How you adapt that to yourself, when you write, how you write, that's going to be on you guys. And the beauty of it was, it worked. 50 people used the journal in 50 different ways, in hundreds of different situations, and all of them took on board the ideology of feel, think, do, and made it their own. So when it came to redesigning the journal and putting the instructions and editing all the text in the front of the journal, I had so much stuff to work with, and I realized that if I was to put all this into the journal, it'd be like War and Peace. It would be massive. So what I decided to do was actually write a second book. The second book is about the experiment. It's case studies of the different testers. It's their situations, it's their challenges that they faced, the way they overcame them, and the benefits that they found. It shares their dreams, it shares their creative ideas. It goes into some pretty deep stuff, and I did get everybody's permission to write this. But you know, we don't all start from the same place, and people were willing to share their stories to help others see the benefit that they got out of the journal. So it is part of the reward. Every tier in the Kickstarter gets the ebook. It is going to get released separately as well, and it's aimed at people that sort of don't journal. I kind of look at it and go, this is for those people that sit there and go, why do I need to journal? You know, there's nothing wrong, I'm okay. And I released the book because a lot of the stories I share were those same people. They were the people that sat there and went, yeah, look, I'm willing to help, but I don't think I'm going to find a benefit in it because I don't journal. I don't need to journal. And these were some of the best stories that came out of the experiment. So I've compiled it all in. I'm sharing people's stories, and then what I'm doing is I'm coming in from the back end. I'm offering the third person perspective on, you know, the way that the actual experiment helped these people, and sort of breaking down the challenges and the benefits that people found in the premise of the journal. So that it's not just, hey, this is a nice story, but it's, you know, you can read it and go, okay, well, this is what this person found. Here's the practical side of how the journal helped them. And hopefully you guys will find something that you can relate to, whether it be a story or just one of the challenges or benefits that are mentioned in the book. So look, jump in, have a pledge, even if it's just to pick up the book, have a read of it, and then you can decide if the journal is something that you want to try. I think most people that read it will find it because there's such a diverse array of stories that there's something there that everybody will feel empathy with. There's something there that everybody will relate to, or they will have an aspect of it in their own lives. So Own Your Shit is the ebook. I kicked the idea back and forth, but in the end, you know, this journal is about stepping up. And because of that, as I've said, I call it owning my shit. I wanted something out there that made people go, whoa, hold on a moment. So that's the title of the book. So guys, 5 days left, July 16th. The action is about doing. The journal is about, you know, action, getting in and doing stuff now. Don't put it in the too hard basket. Come in and check it out. Take a gamble on yourself, you know, try something new. If you're feeling a challenge or that creative idea that you're not quite in touch with yet, try something new. You know, what have you got to lose? Come over, check out the project, pledge. We've got 5 days. I hope to see you on board. All right, guys, catch you later.